Your record came out, a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
How's it all? You've been getting some good reviews, I see. What's it been like for
Yeah.
you?
I've just been, really appreciative of everybody's kind words and the folks that are listening to the record. It really means a lot. You never know in this modern era, if like listening down to a full record is something people want to spend their time and attention with, and so getting messages like throughout the day, like, hey, like I just listened to the whole record this for the second time or something, like, I'm like, wow, that really means a lot. So,
yeah. And I assume you made it with the intention of people kind of listening to it from beginning to end. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. But also knowing, that may not, with an open mind.
With an open mind, of course. Well, everything has to be done with an open mind these days.
Yes.
And you work with a guy named Jonathan Wilson, who is your kind of producer guy. And so how did the two of you work together when you made this record?
I sent some voice memos just of me playing guitar and singing these songs. And there was one song that I did a 4-track tape demo of that I sent as well. But for the most part, they were pretty stripped down. So it kind of left, and we sent back and forth several songs each to kind of reference, different feels and records to kind of pull inspiration from. So,
right.
Yeah. So that was kind of like, how the setup was. And then I flew out to Topanga Canyon.
Right.
And he brought in a couple of musicians, and the four of us just started pretty much right away playing live together in the room. And he had me separated so I could go back and do vocals over again if I wanted to, or retrack the guitar part. But so we did that for a handful of songs, but a lot of the core bits of the songs, like, keys, bass, drums, and acoustic guitar, were all kind of tracked at the same time. And then, so we recorded, like 15 songs in 4 or 5 days. And then the rest of the time was spent doing overdubs and messing around with weird keyboards and things. So
you do, yep. All right. I noticed as soon as I played the first track, Candy and Curry, the sound of your voice, the voice itself, and also the production around it, the way it was recorded, was a very distinctive kind of classic 70s sound to me. I'm an old guy, so I remember, when Tapestry came out and Linda Ronstadt was doing everything.
Yeah.
So I was that something that you and Jonathan talked about, worked on, or did it just happen?
I'm making candy and curry and a friend in the mirror. I'm seeing things much clearer than before.
I don't think we didn't like verbalize that specifically. The songs that we referenced were often, older records. I sent some Bobbie Gentry songs. This one song, Courtyard, in particular, where her voice is just right up front, and then you have the big string production. But
yep.
And then he's also I've like nerdily messaged him about his like snare drum tone,
right.
The sound he captures on his records, like with Father John Misty and this Leslie Stevens record that came out a couple years ago, and called Sinner. That's the name of that record. It's a very cool record.
Okay.
But that snare drum sound is always there, and so that kind of is very harkens back to like a classic way of recording. So I'm sure. Yeah. I thank you for saying that.
As a matter of fact, speaking of Bobbie Gentry, the track Enemy, I had a note that it kind of reminded me of Glenn Campbell, but then I remembered that Glenn Campbell had recorded with Bobbie Gentry, and that's kind of the vibe that I think I was getting from that one. So what can you tell me about Enemy?
Come on, it's not so bad. Think of all the good times we've had. Just like that, the mind has made an enemy of a friend. You know how I get so scared. I want what's mine and I don't want to share. Not with you, not even if that's what's fair. In the
Yeah, Enemy. I told somebody the other day, I was like, to be honest, I was ripping off a Jim Croce guitar part. I was trying to learn New York's Not My Home. And then I just started coming up with some lyrics and stuff. So switched it up a little bit. But yeah, I definitely, that cinematic country sound and like pop, cinematic old pop sound is kind of, I know our inspirations for both Jonathan and I going into it. So.
And how did you get exposed to that stuff? Because you're much too young to have heard it the first time.
I think it's, well, just growing up in Nashville, especially in the last 10 years, there's been a real, there are certain artists that have been mainstays, like Glenn Campbell,
Sure.
Rhinestone Cowboy, that record,
and
those songs, Wichita Lineman, and By the Time I Get to Phoenix, it's kind of like being in a music town. I feel like, and putting all the pieces together, like who played, the Wrecking Crew, and kind of, the lineage of and network of records that came from that time. I feel like just, different musician friends would have shown me different songs over the years. And in Nashville, especially the country thing, there's still a real appreciation for the earlier artists.
Right.
It was kind of the golden age of, in my mind anyways. There's, I feel like the 50s country thing is a lot of those songs are played a lot still these days.
Sure.
Yep. I don't know. I'm having my afternoon coffee. I'm getting a little
Go for it, man.
talkative.
Yeah, that's cool. You must have gone to Memphis, because I see you were in Sun's studio for the video for Can't See the Stars.
Yeah.
What was that like hanging out there? I've never been there myself, and I'd love to.
So I drive out to that further place where there are no interruptions. Just me alone, just me beneath an old familiar glow. Can't see stars.
Can't see stars.
Can't see stars.
Can't see stars.
I love going. I was actually born in Memphis, but in recent years, a lot of friends have kind of like just made different trips there over time. And my friend Matt Ross Spang just is opening his new studio. So I've gotten to go there a couple of times over the past few years to work on stuff at his place. He primarily recorded at Sam Phillips' studio.
Right.
But yeah, the Sun studio, that was so cool. We just walked in, and it was like between tours. They were like starting them every hour on the hour, and we were like, can we record like a 5-minute thing in the studio room? So they fit us in there, and
Nice.
it was just really, that's the Southern hospitality, and like, a smaller, it's not a small town, but it's not the just completely packed with tourism all the time now, like Nashville is. And so that, people are able to still just be like, yeah, come on in,
Now, speaking of videos, you did one for Modern Woman, which is pretty cool
Yes.
tune, and you got some folks in there. And I saw a Leon Russell album floating around.
I see yours in the background. Yes.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
In the beginning, long time ago, never was a woman pure as driven snow. That was illusion, that was a lie. Woman was a human, woman was a lie.
Yes. That was very fun to make. That was in my living room.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And what did Leon have to do with the Modern Woman?
Well, I feel like I'm like, which record? I I think that was just one that I had pulled out to listen to. That Stranger in a Strange Land.
Oh
I
yeah.
had to listen. That
Yeah.
was, yeah. I was on a Leon kick for a second. I mean, I always am. That I grew up on that record for sure. But
Mhm.
yeah, so he was the most recent listen when it came time to make the record or make the video. So
Right. And making the video, were you making it? Do you kind of get behind that stuff, or do you have somebody that does it for you?
that was my friend Joshua Shoemaker who directed that one. I kind of presented the idea in of wanting to show different friends in their element, kind of different,
Yep.
yeah, just the different businesses we have in Nashville that are women owned, and just celebrate all kind of gals in the town. So, but yeah, Joshua is a great friend, and he's done a lot of really wonderful video work over the years. So yeah, anytime I get to work with him, I'm always eager to call him and be like, I have a budget for you. I'm not asking you to do it for free this time.
Yay.
So, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. And in the Modern Woman, there's a little instrumental break. I can't tell, is it a guitar solo-y thing, or is it a keyboard that's treated or something?
Yes. I think that's a guitar part.
I like that. It's got a great sound to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Jonathan Wilson thing. I can't. He could tell you more about it than I can. I know he was playing through some cool pedals though.
I'm sure. So I read somewhere you were inspired by English psych folk.
Yes.
What does that mean, and how did that happen? I think I know what it means, but I'm not sure how it happened.
Yeah. After I made my last record, I was on tour with the collaborators for that record, and we just listened to so much music driving through, and I kind of I think a Spotify playlist actually popped up with, maybe Discover Weekly showed me a Kevin Ayers song. And then I just kind of was like going down this deep rabbit hole while we were in the van. I was just like trying to add, just expose myself to the most like obscure kind of thing I could find. And so there's this, Mighty Baby, Pete Dello and Friends, Duncan Brown. I'm kind of blanking on some of the other names.
That's right. But I get the idea.
Yeah. So I made kind of an extensive playlist of that, which, for all the criticism that the streaming services get, I feel like I do appreciate being introduced to music that,
Yep. They do serve a purpose.
Yes.
Just, I guess, especially you being an artist, probably are even more concerned about it than I am. Somebody's got to get paid.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, somebody is getting paid. It's just not the right people, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody's making a bundle.
Yes.
Have you been following the whole Spotify, Neil Young, Joni thing? And do you have an opinion about it?
I feel like you can't get away from it.
Right.
But yeah, my friend Rachel Bayman wrote a really great piece for No Depression last month or a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, last week.
Yeah.
Like, was it today? I don't know. About just kind of the argument of like, just being like, why did it take, why did it take Joe Rogan and him, just speaking unwisely, to instigate this change or like draw this attention that people, a lot of artists have been trying to fight for.
Yep.
This, it kind of like, it was like Joe Rogan was like the lever to kind of,
because you get the feeling that people don't really understand how the whole Spotify record label artist thing works, who's paying who for, and who's doing the negotiating. And that's finally coming out, which is a good thing, I think, because. Yes.
And I think, someone was saying there's a lot of messages, or just people reposting things. So it's always good to, get down, try to find the facts, do a little research, try to find the facts about what the actual rates are and stuff. But yes, there's a considerable gap between you know, what a stream is worth,
Yep.
what they are, the money they're actually generating right now. So,
Yeah.
but all that to say, I love the Discover Weekly.
Sure. Yeah. We all do. Fantastic. It's a great way to
Yeah.
discover music, finding it all the time. So one more song I wanted to touch on was Cosmic Sigh. I got a kind of a Roy Orbison vibe out of that one. So I don't know if that's what you're after or what.
Well, I love that.
A cosmic sigh she breathes. Something shifts beneath her wings. The winds of change are blowing. And heard on high what sings. I cannot believe my ears. A sudden hope is growing.
One of my favorite nights in Nashville that I remember is this friend's band, Los Colones. They put together a tribute to Roy Orbison's Black and White Night, the live album.
Yeah.
And I think it was like to start off one of the Americana Fest. It was like a Tuesday night at the 5 Spot, but my friend Kristen and I sang the background vocals, and that was really my intro. This was like probably 6 or 7 years ago now, but that was kind of like my intro to fully understanding Roy Orbison, not just like a hit song, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, like the song It's Over, just his range and the
drama, because it builds up. It's like a big,
the drama.
There's drama in all of it. Well, the one that I was thinking of with Cosmic Sigh reminded me of Crying, the beginning of it, and then the strings kind of came in, and it was all
Oh, thanks.
So.
Love that.
So are you doing gigs? Are you playing out? What's happening now that the record's out?
I am getting ready to hit the road here in about 10 days. I am going to Australia.
Oh, good. We're right next door.
Yes. Yeah. Is the border open right now with COVID?
It will be by then, I think.
Okay.
Because I believe, and it's hard to keep track, but yeah, I think next week the border between Australia and here is opening, and then there's a timetable. So check it out. It may be worth all of our whiles if you do.
Oh, I would love.
We're desperate for international acts. We've got great local stuff. And that's all fine. And a big Americana scene here, believe it or not.
Yes.
But still, we've been seeing the same acts over and over again for like the last year and a half now. So we want to see some new faces.
Yeah, I would love to come down there. My new friend Nayo, is I believe a New Zealander. I think she's home right now.
Yep.
She contributed some background vocals to a couple of songs on the record. Just happened. She and Jonathan are really good friends.
That's how you know each other now?
Yeah, she's a gem. She's so cool.
Cool. All right. We'll have to go see what Nayo's up to these days.
She is touring in Harry Styles' band.
Well, there you go.
And releasing music of her own. So she's
all right. Cool. Well, it sounds like everything's happening. You thinking about the next record yet, or are you just kind of wallowing in this one?
Of course. As soon as I feel like the day that the record came out, I started to be like, I might write a song again, There might be another chapter after this, because it's kind of like the build up,
Right. Yeah.
So I'm excited to just keep on making some music.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great. All righty. Well, thanks for spending time talking to me. Much appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
Hope things warm up in Nashville.
Thank you so much.
Spring's coming.
Yes, right around the corner.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye, Marty.